Hi, this is Tony Gerard at Kasama Property Management, and today's discussion is going to be around how to select a property management company online. This is often referred to as looking at our online reputation. As the web, social media has grown in both size and importance in our day-to-day lives, this dimension, which didn't exist just 10 or 15 years ago, is a very, very important part of the selection process when you're looking for a property management company. What I would tell you is, for example, the BBB, Better Business Bureau. They have an online site. They give you grades, etc. They also tell you how many complaints. A good starting resource that you might want to consider when you're going out looking for a company. But what I want to really emphasize in the realm of property management, that it makes this business different than other businesses, is this is a complex business with many, many touch points that oftentimes goes over a number of years. As we know, a lot of things can happen with this many interactions over this many years. Oftentimes people don't remember the good things, they tend to remember the bad things. And when you have this many moving pieces, there are legal components of this to consider, there are behavioral components of this to consider. Quite honestly, there's even communication elements of this, or cultural issues to consider. People here do and act different ways. So as you're looking for a property management company, these are a few of the things you need to consider. There's the complexity of this. Let me walk you through a few pros and cons of this, and let me start with the pros. First of all, the information is out there. There's more information than we would know what to do with. If you dig long enough doing Google searches, you'll find a plethora of information. There's information that's local. There's information that's national. So you can do comparisons of how are things going in Massachusetts versus how do things happen in Colorado. Something we didn't have access to a few years ago. The other is that you look at the sources of where you're drawing this information from, and if they've been around for a long time, and the depth of that information, that's important. There are a lot of websites out there that have 3 or 4 comments, good, bad, or indifferent, that date back to 2006. That's probably not necessarily a good resource for you. Now let's flip it around and look at the cons. An old market research adage to remember about customer satisfaction is any person, and this has been proven statistically by more academics than I care to count, is you have one bad customer experience and you will tell 10 people about it. But you have 10 good customer experiences and you might tell one person about it. And that is something you really want to consider when you're looking at these sites, because oftentimes what you'll find is a lot of negativity out there. And the negativity may be, in many ways, exaggerated or very biased. And that's because people are trying to make a point or justify this position they've taken about this great injustice that they feel has been done. And that may be correct, or like I said, it may be exaggerated for them to prove their point. What you need to consider is the point valid? You don't know, you weren't there. But look at this. As you read into this, you get a better feel for what kind of company it is. But just remember, this is a complex business that has many, many, many customer touch points. And with this many touch points, no matter what business, whether it's property management or whatever, there's always an opportunity for something to go wrong along the way, and you're not going to please all the people. So what do you look for? So you take all this information and you assemble it all. Don't make it harder than it is. And what I would say is, let's boil it down to a couple things. Word of mouth. One of the easiest things using web these days is if you've got a question, go on a blog board or a bulletin board or whatever, LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, and put a question out there. What do you think? You're going to get a lot of responses, most likely. Some of them good, some of them bad, but you'll get information. Consider the size and longevity of the company. Do you want a company that's big? Do you want a company that's small? A company that's just started up, but it's been around for a while. These are considerations that also have to be weighed in your selection process. Finally, what do you want from the company? If you don't define, other than, well, I want them to manage the building, think about it a little deeper than that. What kind of a shopper are you? Are you a price-driven shopper or a service-driven shopper? Think about the car you drive. Do you drive a Chevrolet or do you drive a Lexus? It's not just an economics component, that's a level of your price-driven or your service-driven kind of a thing. Small companies are actually good. You always know, you pick up the phone, Tony's going to be there. That gives me this very good feeling in the pit of my stomach. Large companies may have a lot of systems and processes and tools and answering systems, etc., but they may not have that level of one-on-one that you're looking for. So you want to consider that. The final piece of this is footprint. Where your property is located, whether it's a single-family home or a 100-unit building. Is there an adequate footprint around the property that you've got where there is name recognition? And it is good name recognition, because ultimately what you want is you want a rented property. So again, consider all of the information that's presented to you online as something that you're going to ultimately have to make a decision about. For more information on this or other topics, please visit us at echosummit.com/education. Thank you.